What's up, guys? Welcome to the Breakers of Bread podcast. I am your host, Datavius Nablack, and this is officially episode one. I know I made the intro, and I guess that was kind of like an episode, but I don't know. It's like the pilot of a show, so you can count it as an episode, or you cannot. It just depends on your preference and whatnot. But I titled it intro, so in my head, it's not. But yeah, I'm really stoked to be here. That was such a it's such a funny word to say, stoked, because it's like, first of all, who says that? Like, I want to know, and not in an insulting way, but like, who says stoked anymore? That's what I want to know. But yeah, we are here. We are popping, locking, and dropping. Um, we are snap, crackle, and popping. We are snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Now let me see. Now let me hear you sing. Hey, oh man. But I currently have a mason jar and a metal straw because you got to save the turtles. Saving turtles is important. If you don't think it is, shame on you. But yeah, so I am. At first, I was like, I don't know what I'm really going to talk about. I don't really know, like, what am I going to say? What am I going to da 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 da? Like, all these questions. But I think for this one, hold up, let me readjust this. Eh, tight. I think for this episode, I actually wanted to do something that I kind of had an idea to do, but I didn't do in the first episode, and that is explain the meaning behind the name Breakers of Bread. Because I didn't want to do it like 30 episodes in. It's like, why did you name it? But I did want to do it like now. I see this like head print. It's like a this. You ever see on something like a window, and you see handprints, and you're like, what happened? And it's just like scattered or whatever. It's kind of like that, but I can tell this is a forehead, and I know somebody ran slap into the door, but it's fine. It's because it's a glass door, like the glass doors, and then the what are they called? Sheet doors, whatever. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I kind of wanted to give um the meaning behind it, why it means so much to me, and kind of like what the I think I already said the mission in the last episode, but I wanted to kind of reiterate or reiterate as you can see. Wow, I even messed up on that. As you guys can see, English is a tough language. So shout out to everyone whose second language is English or third or whatever, and they can speak it in however level that they can speak it. English is my first language, and I can still barely speak it. You're like, oh, but you sound great now. I was like, no, you just haven't seen me outside of rehearsal or outside of podcast mode. So also very sorry for my awkward laughs that will come up randomly. But yeah, I have my metal straw because save the turtles. Um, Shout out to my old roommate Lisa, who used to carry around metal straws everywhere, and it's so funny because I was like, okay, because she was like, oh, I'm like, I don't want to make a. I think it was something about her carbon footprint or something like that, or she said something, and I just remember her always having that metal straw, and I didn't think it was stupid, but I was just like, all right, okay, like what is a metal straw gonna do? But now that I'm like really looking at the grand scale of things, that metal straw does a lot. So shout out to you, Lisa. I won't say any last names because I don't want y'all to go after them. Not like, I'm at that level where people would, but people are weird. So, um, yeah, Lisa put me on to metal straws, and then I saw a post about it, and then it was from the real Tarzan. If you guys don't follow him, you should because he's got a lot of dope posts. And I always see him on my feed, and I get happy. It's like one of the coolest things ever. But he was talking, he's like, "Yo, we're doing like metal straws, like free metal straws." I was like, "Yo, that's tight. I think I'm gonna get one because I was gonna pick them up from Target, one way or another." But it's like, "Yo, you should come out." Metal straws, or not come out, but you should order metal straws, save the turtles. And then I saw a picture of a turtle. I was like, I got to do it. I got to do it for Squirt. So I did. It'd be funny if there's turtles and then tortoises. That's right. Okay, never mind. I'm good. I was like, I think one of them can't swim. If I'm correct, I think it's the tortoise that can't swim, but turtles can. Let's look that up right quick. I don't want to be wrong. I really do not want to be wrong. There's a lot of things I want to be, and wrong is not one of them. Okay, let's look this up. If you hear the click clacking, that's my laptop because I'm not using my phone for. I guess I could use my phone. Nah, but I'm already here. I gotta commit. Commit. Can tortoises swim? Yes. Thank you, Google. Let's see. Turtles will usually return to the same beach where they hatched to lay their eggs. Tortoises live on land. They cannot swim in water, while turtles can swim and even float in water. Ah, okay. Oh my gosh, that's okay. I'm not even gonna read the rest of it. It like the more I've found out through just different things. When you research something on Google, just be prepared to sip some depresso espresso because it usually always happens. You go and you're like, oh man, like I want cotton candy flavored ice cream. Next thing you know, it's like food fight erupts over cotton candy flavored ice cream at school, resulting in an injury. And you're like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this at all. Like I just wanted recipes. That's why you know what, just go to Pinterest. If you need something in specific, just go to Pinterest because Google been sipping that depresso espresso for a long time now, and I'm not down with it. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to talk about the reason that I wanted to name this podcast "The Breakers of Bread," and there's a lot to it spiritually and just physically and whatnot, and there's a huge mission behind it, and it's one of those things that's I hope that it's bigger than what I am and who I am, and and I hope that it kind of stands for what I represent. But the Breakers of Bread came from an idea. After because if you guys don't know, I think I mentioned it. I mentioned it in the last podcast, I think, or I recorded so many episodes on like literally just the intro that like it's so funny because it's like sometimes I have really bad memory, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the scenario. Like I could have the memory of an elephant, and then like my memory just puts on a super rainbow wig, super big rainbow afro wig, white face makeup, a red nose like Rudolph, and some red lipstick, and then you know, I squeeze my nose and it honks, and I turn into a clown. So Ronald McDonald, what's up? Shout out to him. I was actually gonna order Chipotle for this, but I'm not eating with anyone, so I decided I'm not going to. And I don't think y'all want to hear me eating in the mic, but I have plans to do it, just in a very discreet way. But yeah, I recorded so many episodes from the intro that sometimes I forget what I said. But if you guys don't know, I am a big lover of Jesus. I love his mission. I love who he is, and all that good stuff. I know it's like what, holy crap. I think I've mentioned it a couple times on social media. There was like a year where like I did a lot of stuff like with Bible verses in my captions, but then not that I was like against it after I stopped, but I think it was more so like I don't know. It was a weird. It's like one of those like personal moments where you don't really know why something happened, but there was a reason, and so you're like, until it comes back up, I won't worry. But yeah. So yeah, big lover of Jesus. Love his work. He's a cool guy. Love studying about him. I love studying humans. So like just pretty much anything that may interest me, I usually try to study it and try to figure out like why is it the way it is and whatnot. But um, one of the things that really resonated with me when it's so funny saying studying Jesus instead of just saying reading the Bible. It's like, yeah, I studied Jesus. And they're like, what are you, like a historian or something like that? It's like, no, just a follower. Yeah, I follow him on Twitter, he was rolling with 12. Now he's got like 12 million, something like that. I don't know. But I was reading something, and it was about like how he, or I think I was reading it and listening to like a message about like how he would just dine and eat with people and socialize, and the way he did it was so interesting, in the way that he broke bread, and the way that he would just talk with people and do the things that he did was so cool. And it was like, hey, everyone's invited, just don't be this super judgmental, super condemning, hella weird person. Like, you can be strange, you can be weird, but just don't be like it's like, and it was very interesting how he, in a sense, like he would stick up for it. And there's a whole can of worms that I'm not even gonna crack open today. But it was so interesting how he would stick up for sinners from the people, and he would stick up for them, and they would be getting bullied by like the people that were like that should have been closest to him per se. And it was like just a very interesting contrast. But the way that he would eat with people was so cool because he would just eat. And when I say eat, I mean this was a huge thing back in the day. And I found this out through, I think it was another message where um you didn't just eat with anyone. And I know it's funny because now, like, it's like, okay, like I don't just eat with anyone. I eat with my friends and whatnot. But the thing about it back in the day was that like when you broke bread and when you communed with people, it was a huge deal because these were the people that, in a sense, like these were the people you went to work with and not just people that you were friends with. So whoever you associated yourself with is the people that you ate with. So tax collectors would go eat with tax collectors. Pharisees would go eat with Pharisees. Cinnamon rolls would eat with cinnamon rolls. Yada yada yada. You get the point. But Jesus was like, "Yo, I'm gonna just eat with everybody regardless." And he did many times. Status didn't mean a thing to him. And it's not even that he didn't care. It's weird to say like he didn't care like where you came from. The crazy thing is that he did. He cared about details, about little things and whatnot. And so um getting more so into the physical, that's kind of where I wanted to step in, because I just love humans. Humans are so cool. And I love to people watch, and I don't like to be creepy about it, but like it's just some things just happen and they're so fascinating that I accidentally stare. Like for instance, someone will walk by, and I like studying anatomy. And I think it's because I'm a photographer that I really like this, or maybe I'm a photographer because I like anatomy. But let's say a runner passes me by, and I'll sit there and I'll watch him because it's so interesting to see how the body works, and then how simple movements, because when you think about it, like the only thing that really stops us from exercising is energy. Like I'm like, oh, I don't have the energy to do this. If I did, I would do it. And it's so weird to think about that because it's like, oh my gosh, I have to put in work, and then you're scared to getting sore and stuff like that. But it's so interesting to see those simple movements, like moving your leg, moving your arm, forward motion, which is so crazy to think about. Like we move in a forward motion, like even when you think about that. But um everybody has a different way of running, everybody has a different way of doing things, and I just think it's so interesting. And so yeah, I was like, yo, I think that I want to do that as well. I want to be interested in people, not just like he was interested in people, but just in general. And I'm also like reading this book. I think if you guys may know about it, but I think it's like um I think it's called like How to Win Friends and Influence People or something like that, which is so weird. I don't. I think winning friends is a very weird way to. I like even things like that. Like I'm very weird of saying. Like I don't want to like win friends, if that makes sense. Like I just kind of want to organically and naturally just kind of. I guess winning is kind of a thing, but I want to be a good person at heart too, so that when people become friends with me, they're not like, yeah, I regret every single second of this. But usually over a phone call, like after like round three of getting comfortable, they will understand what exactly they just walked into. And I hope that people genuinely want to be friends with me because I'm strange, not because I'm just I guess a person or whatever. But I guess if you want to be friends because of that too, that's fine. But when when I do this with people, I really want to engage with them, and I really want to see who they are, why they do what they do, and just how they conduct themselves and whatnot. I think it's so interesting that everyone lives a unique story, and some people don't think they do, while they're literally living a unique story. And so I'm not really against eating with anyone, metaphorically speaking, but I think more so what does that say? Sorry, something popped up and I was like, what in the world? Okay. But one of the things that I really love doing is just finding out about people, and one of the things that I don't really like to do is you know, I guess in a sense, I wouldn't say close people off, but I think it's one of those things that it hurts when it's like, man, I don't want to, in a way, like, it's like, I don't want to associate myself with you or something like that. And not in a bad way, like it's just because of like who you are or whatever. I think it's more so because it's like I see so many cool people and then this person's like, for a lack of better words, different. Not different like they just in a good way, but like mean. I don't know any other way to say it. But it's like they're just known to not really be the most popular. And it's like there's something about there's something in their life that happened that made them the way they are. Regardless if it was a personal choice or whatever, but it's like, dang, I really wish whatever happened did not happen to make you the way you are because I want to know about you. But it's kind of like that's at the risk of my own well-being, which that's important. And sometimes, as bad as this is, you have to take your well-being into thought and consideration too, even before becoming friends with someone. If someone said, yo, you are way too much energy for me right now in this season of my life, I don't even know if I could take offense to that because I am. Like, there are days when I just want to sleep, and then there are days when I'm like, yo, I want to climb a mountain with no harness and just a speedo. And it's like, dude, that's no. Like, just stop. But um yeah, I never want to. I always want to have this place where I'm kind of like always open, but I'm always moving. So, you know, whoever comes through can come through. And I understand, like, some people don't stick around. Some people just come through for a day. Like restaurants. I don't mind being a restaurant. I just don't want my restaurant to be disrespected, you know? So people could come through, they can eat with me and then leave. And it was just an experience. They're like, yo, that was crazy. Like, 4 or 5 stars, Yelp review. 4 out of 4, IGN would recommend. Uh 10, 9.2 out of 10. GameSpot needs more chili fries, whatever, But yeah, I just love the idea of communing. And there's a couple I think it was a year ago when I went to LA. Just a lot of things happened. I just experienced a lot of things that I wish that a lot of people that everyone experienced, but at the same time, I'm like, I want people to experience this like by themselves, like it's I want people to experience this on their own time, like like they gotta come into themselves, or whatever. But you know how people say things like that. It's like, nah, like this was just a unique experience for me. Like I don't wanna make this not unique. It's just weird stuff like that or whatever. But um yeah, I went to LA and just, experienced a lot of things, and I was like, yo, I love people. Like that, I think that's when it really solidified that I love people. Like because I think a couple people asked like, "What are you here for?" And I was like, I just want to see people. I just want to be around people. I just want to just see what they do, see why they do what they do, and meeting so many people. And I think I scared this one dude because I asked him how long he was shooting film, and he was like, like a few months. And I just ran up on him, but I forgot that it's not like over here, which over here's the East. And by over here in the East, I mean like a very small portion of the East. It's not always like that, but sometimes it is. But um, yeah, sometimes I forget that things are so different, but it's so interesting still. And so, yeah, I made this podcast in a sense to low key kind of just to meet people, not just to meet people. I throw in the word just a lot. I really shouldn't, but I do sometimes. Question mark. But yeah, I want to meet a lot of people, and I just want to. If you hear also this random like squeaky squawky noise, I don't know how to explain it. It's my leg, and I have severe ADHD, and I have to move something in my body. Like you can't see it, but I'm like even moving my thumbs. Like when nothing is moving, something is moving. But I like to work on my leg too. It's like it's a funny motion. I wonder if I'm burning calories doing this. Apple tell me. But yeah, I wanted to do this in a sense to meet people, to let other people meet people, and to kind of just in a sense connect just all these different things. Because I feel like even in social media, I feel like social media has low key disconnected us more than connected us. Um, and it's connected us so much, but it's disconnected us so much as well because and I think it's more so like we're finding out how many differences there are in the world, but also like we're like, oh, I don't really like this portion of the world, or I don't like this, or I don't like this, or I don't like this. So it's connecting us to the larger aspect of life, but it's disconnecting us from ourselves because like either we're trying to be something we're not, or we're trying to, in a sense, become the perfect candidate for everything, um, which is impossible. And I think I like the fact that I dislike things about people, like people who wear Crocs. I don't even want to talk about that. I like I like people. Not a big fan of Crocs. Which, side note, I've been on this Croc war for now 3 years, and it's literally for nothing. Like, it's literally for nothing. Just a side note about that. I guess this already is a side note, so this is like a PS. I don't know. I have nothing against Crocs, except everything. I will go to war with Crocs for the next 30 years of my life if I have to. I want to get to the point where I have to sign a peace treaty with Crocs. I don't think they'll ever really. I think it'd be funny to do, like, for, I guess, publicity or whatever, but there's literally nothing to this. I'm literally just like, I don't like Crocs. And I think I have reasons, but it's one of the, if you've ever played Red Dead Redemption 2, it's like Dutch versus the O'Driscolls, or I think his name's Colm O'Driscoll. He's like, I've been fighting Colm O'Driscoll for so long, I don't even know anything else. And I was like, dog, that's a long time. That's a long time. And the homie Arthur's only like 30. Dang, never mind. I was like, I feel like he picked him up when he was a teenage boy. So he's probably been fighting this fight for about like 20 years. But yeah, so the mission statement behind Breakers of Bread is just, it's community and love. And I know it's like so cliche to say that because it's like, but I think there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to it that I don't even see. And there's a lot to it that I think that I'll need help with. And I love that. I love the fact that, like, this isn't something that I can do by myself. And so when going about this, I definitely want this to be like an open party type of thing, but it feels exclusive. And I know that sounds so weird. Because, and I say exclusive because I think exclusivity makes people feel special, but at the same time, it's like, why was I picked? Why was I chosen? And so I don't want this to feel exclusive, but I want the benefits of exclusivity to kind of be that thing that you feel or whatnot. I wish you could see my facial expressions. I need to get a tripod. But yeah, it's because I think exclusivity makes people feel good, but I think also sometimes it makes people feel bad because they're like, why is this exclusive? But like, I love being here, but like, why is it just us? And so, like group chats or whatever. But yeah, I really would love to just have different people, just an exuberant amounts and different types of people. And really, the door is open for, I have yet to find people I don't want on the podcast, which I have like fuse what, I have a few in mind, but I'm just not going to share for the benefit of keeping this not PG, but just like on a roll. And so, you know when people come, I want to talk with them. I want to figure out, like, get inside their brain. But I want to share a little bit about me as well. And I want this to also be a platform to, in a sense, share people and just grow and just build. And, I want this to feel like a family. I don't want this to feel, like I said, I don't want this to be exclusive. I want this to feel like a family, but I do want this to be bigger than what I am. And so, artists, painters, picture takers, those photographers, photographers, videographers, lawyers, community service people, janitors, uh, sculptors. I'm naming off all these creative people. um, Even police officers, uh, lawmen, tax collectors, um, people with mental illnesses, um, people with physical illnesses. I want everyone to come on here because I think that everyone has a story. And even if it's not a story to share, it's still a story. And I think it would just be cool to converse. And so with that being said, I think I've said at least like 26 times. Someone count it for me. I guess now that it's like at the end of the podcast, even though this isn't really the end, I don't know why I said that, but I guess I'll wrap up in a little bit. But someone go back and count how many times I said there's really no benefit to it, but if you want something to do, that's something to do. But yeah, so this is kind of like the reason that I made this. And yes, I do want to eat on this podcast, and so I will be. I want to get sponsored by Chipotle big time. And I want this to, like I said, I want this to grow. I feel like I repeated myself a couple times. I'm really sorry if I did. But yeah, so when doing this, I really want people to feel comfortable. So if I have to come to you, let me know. If you live in like Idaho, we'll have to talk about that. Cause if you're like, yeah, I live in Idaho, but I want to be on the podcast. Okay, let's let's see what we can do. But yeah, and I think it would be cool to just add different elements into this. And I don't want this to, like I said, I don't want this to shy away from anyone, and I want this to grow. And so that's the reason I didn't really pick a subject for what this is about. I think I labeled it under arts and entertainment, or like society and culture, but literally, um, this is a no, it's like a no genre podcast, I guess. I don't know, but it has a genre? Question mark. I don't know, but yeah. So this is not me trying to get to a celebrital. This is not me trying to get to a celebrity level. Because I feel like what am I gonna do? Be like a talk show host, which is the coolest thing ever. I think talk show hosts are so dope. I honestly do. They're one of the coolest people ever because they're so good at what they do. Well, some of them, and it's like they get to talk with so many people. But like, I'm not trying to get to that level in a sense of like that's the goal. Like I am, but I'm not. The goal is more so um because they talk to a lot of people, and I'm more so trying to get that quality and quantity rather than the quantity of quality. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. So hopefully that made sense, and hopefully this came off in the right way. Sometimes I'm not the best with words, but yeah. Again, I think I said it. I said I know I said at least 7 times just now. I'm so sorry. I'll fix it. I will. I'll work on it. But yeah, so more entertaining. I hope more entertaining episodes to come in the future. I wanted to make this literally just to get that out. The mission statement is everyone. The mission statement is always love. It will always be love. You can do a lot with community and love. You can build a lot with community and love. You can build a lot with community, and you can build a lot with love. So let's just see what happens when the two come together. But yeah, so for the people that are like, I'm not really that artistic, I can't be a model. Like you take pictures of all these models, which take pictures of people. Some people just happen to be models. Some people aren't, but they just happen to move well. And some people don't move well, but I capture them anyway. So, you know, with that being said, if you are not the quote unquote modeling type, but you still want to like hang out with me, eat with me, then we can still be productive. Let's get on this podcast and eat some chipitly and some churros and Chipotle. That's what I should have named this podcast. Dang it! But yeah, but yeah. So yeah, let's do this. I know this is kind of like a very interesting episode, and there's like no one here, but I wanted to make this one real quick because I think it was important, and I wanted to get this out. But yeah, this is a good 30 minutes spent. I'm not at 30 minutes yet. I'm about to hit it in a minute. Exactly right when I said it. But yeah. So with that being said, I am your host, Datavius Black, and this is the Breakers of Bread podcast. And I'm super excited to talk with you guys. I'm super excited to share more with you guys. But let me know what you want to hear more of. Let me know. Also, for any of my technicians, if you hear or see, or I guess we'll see in the future, but if you hear anything weird or anything like that, let me know. I mean, for normal people too, if you're not a technician, but for all my audio guys and whatnot, if you hear anything weird, or if you just suggest me doing other things that will help the quality, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. Hit my line. But all the information to reach me will be, I guess, in the description. If I can put a description below wherever I post these episodes, which I'll let you know. Right now the podcast is on Castbox and Spotify, and I'm going to be adding it to YouTube soon, as soon as I can get some like footage of like what I do, because I don't want y'all to just be looking at nothing, because that'd be weird. Unless y'all want to look at like collages of pictures that I take if I don't have like my camera set up, which I can do that. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, if you guys want to hear about anything, let me know. If you guys want to hear me specifically speak about anything in particular, let me know. And if you have anything that you want to share, ooh, this is a suggestion. If you guys have anything that you want to share, but you don't want to be on the podcast, or you just want it to, I don't know, go to another platform where you just want me to speak about it or something like that, let me know. I will talk for you in the best way that I can. And we will go over how I should say it before I say it so I don't mess up. But yeah, so this is Datavius in the Black. This is the host of the Breakers of Bread podcast and more episodes to come soon. I am your boy, and y'all are my peeps. And this is a we thing, not an I thing. But it is an iPhone, not a Wii phone. Unless Nintendo made a phone based off of Wii technology, then it would be a Wii phone, but not an iPhone. But I'll take an iPhone and a Wii phone. I'll play games. You got games on your phone? All right. I'll see y'all peoples later. Remember, drink your water. Get metal straw. Save the turtles, please. You know, do small stuff. I'm not asking you to be like superheroes or anything. You know, go to the beach, clean up all the trash, but like just simple stuff. You know. Thank you for all your contributions. But yeah, this is your boy signing out, and thank you for tuning in. And can't wait to start producing more. All right, deuces.